I just thought I'd open my Moza brake software so I can show it off over here. Three, two. Welcome to the iRacers Lounge. I'm your host, Mike Ellis. iRacers Lounge is a podcast for the iRacer where we talk all things iRacing in a casual setting. Joining me are the usual characters, Greg Hectus.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, Brad Wren.
Getting ready for a weekend of no sleep.
Sounds fun. David Hall.
We got plenty of time to sleep. There's 4 drivers.
On today's show, we'll jump into a ton of stories following our week off for the holiday. What does a current professional GT3 driver think of the new tire model? Get you up to speed on 2 recent updates. See what 2 pro drivers are using for race prep. New chassis from Advanced Sim Racing. Is the Moza M booster for everyone? And things are really ramping up for the Sim Gaming Expo.
That's right, Mike. And remember that you can follow along with us on your PC or your mobile device in real time as you listen to the show and see for yourself all of the great topics and products we'll discuss by visiting iRacersLounge.com, selecting the show notes. We hope to see you there.
All right, I don't know how much we talked about it. I'm a little unfresh on what we covered and what we didn't with the break. But the first article is talking about the draft being too strong in the Gen 4 car. There is a reply that Brad has posted in this script on June 26th saying that they're looking at improving the performance and that they hope to update it in the patch. Now, the question is, have they addressed this in the patch yet or not?
We'll have to look as we go through those. But yeah, I was happy to see that they were looking into it based on some of the feedback we've heard on Twitter about it and so forth. When the car initially came out that first week, that was the big complaint, was the draft was out of whack. So nice to see that Eric Hudek said they're adjusting.
And there's that. I'm taking a look at the thread as well to see if there's anything. If you take a look at the next patch notes, Brad, you'll notice there's not really much in it.
No, this was just a hot fix. So adjustments to the high CPU usage was adjusted. And then just looks like we have some defunct development code in the Ferrari.
Well, I think it was also the Moza wheel was the real driver for this. So they disabled the LFE effect and the 360 hertz effect.
I guess I haven't been on since this update went in, so I wonder what it feels like now with it. I should try it tonight and see.
Back to the way it was. There's some issues with it, so they basically just disabled it.
They need to have it where it's some of the stuff's not in the UI too, for some of that. So they need to have this all in the interface for some of those settings. Obviously it said that I did notice the other night or the other morning when I raced that CPU usage issue was a lot better. So then I guess I did race with the new LFE gone. Or the Moza thing gone then, I noticed the CPU stuff gone. So that's good. Because I was worried to run Chicago with that problem because it was pretty bad from Le Mans.
All right, well, that covers the patch and the draft. We have a question from an iRacer, Jeff Payne, about a sponsor being gone. And it's the Racers for Christ was replaced with iRacing logos on his car. Then he mentions that he hopes that someone didn't just decide it was in need of removal, which he said later he wasn't trying to imply anything, but that is implying something. But most likely they just, that's they stopped paying. All right, they decided they didn't want to be in the service anymore.
Well, I don't think it was a paid thing. I think that got added, because somebody requested it, and it's kind of a nice thing, and it's religion, I guess you would say. I don't know. I mean, what's wrong with it? I mean, why do they have to remove it? I mean, it's all digital. It's all ones and zeros. I mean,
Does it have to do with our soft world now, though? You can't have things like this.
that's what I'm afraid of. I think that
other
I'm
people.
yeah.
I'm not convinced it wasn't being paid for, because this is a business, and every one of those sponsor spots are purchased.
Yeah, I mean,
Good point.
it's been on the service forever. I mean, even back to the very beginning, it was there. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, if you want to run, if you want to run their logo, just paint up something and put it in trading paints. Problem solved.
Right. Everyone runs trading paints, and so yeah.
I would be bet that there's probably already stuff in there that they could find for it if they want.
Oh, I'm sure.
All right, Danny Morad did a great review on the GT3 tire update. He ran a couple of different tracks, and showed how hard it was, particularly at Spa, to run, run on the cold tires. He talked about how that's a lot more realistic compared to what they have to deal with in real life. He also kind of gave a tip on how to warm the tires up in the little bit of amount of time that you have. But overall, he was real positive on the new model.
Correct. Yeah,
iRacing
that, which is refreshing. They're going the right way. It sounds like the cold tire thing, according to Daniel, it needs even to be more of a cold tire thing.
Yeah. I still think there's work to do. I still think we need warmer tires for start or for qual. If we're only going to get 2 laps for qualifying, I still think we need a warmer tire. I definitely think we need one warmer for the race start. I know they've made some adjustments, and it's supposed to mimic a parade lap. It's about 20 degrees warmer than what it would normally be, but I still think there's some work to do. One thing that I did pick up that he said towards the end of the video was the only part that's just really lacking is the fall off towards the end of the race. He said there's still too much grip, which is kind of shocking because I feel like the tires really do go away, especially if you abuse them now. That's the one thing I have noticed just running a few sprint races.
Hold on, sorry, Mike. Is that more heat maybe than actual tire wear though?
I don't know. It's like I said, I ran Mosport today, and I was struggling, the last 3 or 4 laps. So I don't know if it's heat or if it's just wear. I mean, they were in the 80s when I got done, so I don't know, but it definitely I like the tire model we have. I think it's much closer to probably what is realistic. It definitely gives a challenge, and I think you can't go out there and turn qualifying laps after qualifying laps anymore.
Well, I thought it's kind of related, but let's talk about the Gen 7 tire at road courses. Forever, guys, we would just pit for gas at an NIS road course and not take tires and still do the fastest laps at the end of the race. Now I go into Sonoma today, Brad, and you're like, take tires.
Yeah. I mean, Chicago was a short race, so when you pitted, you only had like 5 laps left or so. I didn't take tires.
If you had to pit.
Yeah, well, I don't know how guys. I can understand stretching it for the Open. I don't know how they stretched it for NIS, but
don't you have to make it? You have to make it like more than 2 laps to actually worry about pitting, which I did not do at Chicago.
I'll tell you later when we get into the results on how stressful that was.
All right. Well, I did notice, to Mike's point, that the tires were really greasy towards the end of Chicago, and yeah, I mean, it was. I did the same thing. Mike got halfway through Sonoma, threw tires on, and it was just like, whoa, got a lot of grip now, and yeah, nice change. That's always been another thing is just you just go out there and just run quali laps one after another, and there's never any degradation on the tires, especially on the road course.
Yeah, kudos to iRacing for getting that right. We finally got a little bit of wear, and you could feel it. Like I said, I pitted. I think I had 44 on the right front, and I had like 85s on the left, which I would think they would be more equal since it's both left and right. But anyway,
All right, we've got is this Instagram or X? I can't really tell, but we've got a post from Ty Majeski showing him doing some filming for the NASCAR game. It is X.
Yeah, and they had a lot of drivers coming by. They had Noah Gragson. He put out, just played the new iRacing NASCAR video game. I got to say, impressed is an understatement. It is a true racing game with good physics. Haven't played a NASCAR game this good for 10 plus years. This game will revive NASCAR console gaming. I'm so hyped.
I really hope this is going to live up to it because I'm excited for the actual game.
You cut out.
Sorry, I hope it is going to live up to this hype because I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, Sammy Smith said, it's the real deal. Feels great, looks great, and I really think it's going to get a lot of new people hooked on NASCAR. Kudos to everyone who worked on this. There is a short video of him and Noah and a couple others sitting in a meeting room playing up on a big screen, basically trying it out.
We got to be getting closer to getting a trailer or something for it soon, don't you think?
August, I believe.
Well, there's people like that playing it, in-house. I think they went up to iRacing to do it.
All right, well, let's talk some 6 Hours of Glen statistics. We had 10,000, basically almost 11,000 iRacers show up driving 2.5 million miles over the weekend. And how did it go on our split? Well, that's what they say. We'll talk about that when we get to results.
Yeah, another successful special event. I thought it went well. Surprised that there was no rain. That was one thing that shocked me. I fully expected us to get weather.
Well,
I didn't even get a
there's enough
chance.
of y'all complaining about rain now that we're not going to get it hardly ever, probably.
I didn't have a chance to even get in the car. We got wrecked out early.
We have another patch, 2025 Season 3, Patch 3. So what do we have in this one, Brad?
Fixed an issue with some of the flags. The biggest thing for me out of this one was the licenses and official racing. So they went back and adjusted the distribution of iRating and time trial rating values that define the division separation for all official racing classes and competition levels. So what they basically did was they had prior to the start of Season 3, they had tuned the divisions distribution slightly, but they admitted they missed the mark. So with the deployment of this patch, all members were redistributed into divisions for all license classes, just as it's done seasonally before week 1. The distribution was completed based on the driver's iRating and status as of week 1. So basically retroed. So this is, we discussed this a couple weeks ago, and just how screwed up some of the splits were. To be thrown into, Division 1 for me, Division 1A Open with I think a 3,100 iRating or something was crazy. And then, same thing that happened prior season, on the sports car side as well. So they're listening.
Yay.
Some updates to cars. BOP was tuned again for the GT3s. And then there was more updates on the brake migration for the GTP cars. I can't tell you what any of that means. David, do you understand what brake migration is?
It's basically a dynamic brake bias instead of the fixed brake bias, where you can actually have a different brake bias when you're at high speed versus low speed.
Wouldn't the most important thing here being the V8 supercar Ford Falcon update for 2004, restoring the rearview mirror to the proper place? The vandals responsible for this mislocation have been handed over to the authorities.
You wonder how an old car got adjusted like that, and then they had to go fix it.
It's those vandals, those iRacing vandals.
Topic idea: iRacing vandals.
There you go. There's also a reply from Christian Chandler. The simulated parade lap functionality that's used to warm and condition tires for brakes and standing starts has been updated to apply to rolling starts and lone qualifying sessions on road courses only. So we're not getting that at an oval.
I'm glad to hear they reverted the divisions back to the way it was. Look, it was right. I don't know why they decided to change it, but they obviously realized it was a bad idea. So.
I wonder if does that mean you warm the tires for the Cup cars on at Sonoma?
Well, according to this, they're already a little bit more warm if it applies on the stock car.
Okay.
We can't see live temperatures on the Cup car though, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's the issue.
It didn't feel too greasy the first lap. I would think I was expecting it to be more slick, and it wasn't.
Yeah, I agree. It wasn't as bad as I was expecting, even though I still saw and avoided like 4 spinouts on lap 1. All right. Corey Heim is talking about his road course success and attributing it to iRacing. And we get stories like this all the time now.
Well, I like that he attributes much of my racecraft to iRacing. Now, the words racecraft, William, thanks for joining. You just jumped in. When you hear the word racecraft, what does that mean to you?
Ability to race closely with people without killing them is what I interpret it as. Everybody can hot lap. Not many people can actually race, right? So I think that's what he's talking about.
I'm thinking pit strategy, knowing when to take 2, when to take 4, what to do with fuel, those kind of things. That's part of racecraft too, right?
Well, for us, he's got a crew chief to worry about that, right?
Procedural stuff, how to pace, how to line up, double file restart, those kind of things, racecraft. But look, there's so much to learn. Like if you're a novice and you don't know anything about racing and you don't know all the procedural stuff, you got to learn it somehow. And iRacing is a great way to do it because you could just do it every hour. Every hour there's another race,
Oh, I mean, he's doing something right. He won Lime Rock a couple weeks ago in the trucks. So
you think he's going to end up at 2311?
I don't know
Replace
why
Bubba.
They don't have a charter for him.
So is anybody going to end up at 2311 is the real question.
It's shocking that he's not in Cup car yet. He's much more deserving than some of the ones that are in there.
Can Dodge rename the shop Aerospeed? It would be Dodge Speed? Ram Speed? When they take over?
Ramming speed. All right. Speaking of movies, what about the dark side of sim racing, Mike?
Yeah, video by Get
When you start
Good
a new hobby,
on the iRacing channel. Talking about some of the things that can kind of get in your craw, what's the bad side of sim racing? And he's talking about the dark side of competition. You have that bad run of races, and by gosh, I've been on that even recently.
Yeah, I mean, for someone that's new to sim racing, it's like anything, and it's a hobby. Typically, once you get in, you're full bore, and it's all you want to do. But like Mike said, you end up with a bad race, and from um, a morale or it can beat you up a little bit. I've watched my sports car I rating go from almost 2,500 down to like 18. It's just like, oh, what am I doing wrong? And I don't feel like I'm doing anything different. I'm just being caught up in everything else. But yeah, I mean, it's the stuff that we don't think about. But it's like any hobby. You can become too obsessive with it, and some of us do. Some of us are obsessive with iRacing.
Well, I think the other thing with this hobby too is it doesn't sleep when you turn it off. Like it doesn't stop. It's an ever evolving hobby, right? So you
Every hour.
If you're like, well, say someone like me who's very little very little time racing on the sim, it's really hard to improve. I mean, I just kind of do it for fun here now, but it can get disheartening if every time you come on, you get one race a week, and then, you're having problems in a race or something like that. But then you got guys that that can race all summer, all hours of the day, and they're you see them pulling away from you or things like that. So it can be hard on you depending on what you do.
So here's the list. So getting crashed, kind of what we were talking about. Number one, focusing on the results. Number two, number three, comparing yourself to faster drivers. That'll drive you nuts. And then finally, expecting linear progress. Like every day every week you get this much better, your iRating is going up, and you expect it to continue to go up at that same rate. But that's, like Brad said, that's not what happens. You go down 400, then you'll go up 200. It's like 2 steps back, 1 step forward. Kind of that's the kind of progress you make.
What's that saying that I always say to the team? You always end up falling where you're supposed to be. You're always going to end up around where you should be at all times.
Depends on the car. I mean, if you look at my experiment with the oval license, when I was Gen 7 exclusive before the Gen 4 came out, I was somewhere around 2,800 to 3,200 most of the time. Like you said, that's where I naturally land. But now that I'm in the Gen 4, where's my natural iRating? Well, apparently it's a little below 2,000. But it's very car dependent too.
All right. Well, we talked about negative streaks. How about positive streaks? We've got Salas going victorious in Chicago, which makes it back-to-back for him.
Quite a battle right at the end for the win, where Salas was leading all the laps. I think he had one guy right behind him, second and third. Third was coming. They go into that one fast corner that everyone wrecks in, that sharp one to the right, before the long straight. I forget the name of it, but they go in there, and Bobby Zielinski, who's in third, I mean, he just drives up the outside of these guys, and just brings it up side by side with the leader, ends up bumping him. He was able to continue on and finish the race. The other guy that was running second got the raw end of the stick, but yeah, it was one of those deals.
And if we talk standings, we still got Steve at the top with 5 wins, Tucker Minner with 3 wins, Vicente Salas with 2. In fourth, Bobby Zielinski with 1 win, along with Colin Keister with 1 win. So the top 5 are all in with wins. Then you round out the top 6 playoff drivers with Zach Novak, Casey Kerwin, Parker White, Jordi Lopez, and Dylan Duvall. Tied with Dylan Duvall is Dylan Alt, but they have Dylan Alt sitting outside the bubble, and then right behind him, Michael Cozy is 15 points out. If you go down to Michael Guest, that's 30 points out. He's probably hunting for a win.
Yeah, it was Steven Wilson, Salas, and Zielinski that all tangled up there. You can see it on the video at 9:16. But that was pretty much the event of the one big event of the race that I saw.
So, William, you looking for a new job, maybe with less hours?
Yeah, maybe. Not what I'm qualified for. But if you happen to be skilled with broadcast media, iRacing's hiring a new broadcast media producer on site in Boston. But if there's iRacing is looking for creative, detail-oriented, and technically skilled broadcast media producer to join our team. Looks like they're looking to boost the quality and production of their live broadcasts. So I wonder what they got planned coming up.
I think it's they got an A crew, they need a B crew because they do so many. It's probably stacking up people.
All right. What about this Listen Up community post, Brad?
Got a video here from Random Call Sign, so titled "The Sim Racing Community Needs to Hear This." So, kind of takes a somewhat of a deep dive into the difference between sim racing and other gaming. It's the quite a bit of the the what is it FOMO, the fear of missing out. To if you're playing a first person shooter or doing something like that, you're just using a gamepad. Sim racing, it's hardware, it's a steering wheel, it's pedals, it's a rig, it's everything that you would use to simulate actually driving a car. And someone getting into it again, it's the constant quest to, I need something better, I need this, I need that, I need that. And we really don't need to. You can get by with you don't have to buy the most expensive stuff. And we talk about this all the time. I mean, there's a good entry point for stuff. As we said before, part of the fun is that it's that upgrade process that you go through over time. As you get more involved, you decide there's things that you do want, or things you get things and you realize, well, didn't even need that at all. So, but the biggest thing, I think it's the FOMO, it's fear of missing out. That's what happens. I mean, we think, oh, I'm going to pick on Mike for an example with the M booster. Does the M booster make Mike faster? Probably not. But there's something that Mike wanted that he's afraid he's missing out on, that the haptic, the tactile, all of that stuff that goes along with it. That's why we buy things. I mean, that's what we do. I had the Huskinville sprints to begin with, and I just felt like that I couldn't. They did. I use a lot more brake pressure than what they would do. So what do? I'll go with the Ultimates. Again, I felt like I was missing out on something, so I got rid of those and then got better set. It's just it's what we do, and this hobby is extremely addictive when it comes to those things.
Yeah, but it's no different than any other hobby. How many hunters upgrade all their stuff to start a season every year? Got to get ammunition and got to get a new gun, or got to get a new bow or whatever, or fishers and new rods, new reels. Like, it's in every hobby. There is all this stuff. I know this is specific to, sim racing, but, even other types of gaming. Like you were saying, Call of Duty, Brad. Guys buy scuffed controllers, $300, $400 just gaming controllers that they think they're going to shoot better. They got mouses that are better, keyboards. It's in everything that we do, and we're always chasing to be the best.
I'd also be careful about saying something like the M booster didn't make Mike faster. He's actually on the record as saying he feels like it has made him faster at road courses in previous episodes. I know that I can brake better now in road courses with the sim coaches than I could with the old Fanatec pedals.
I have video of mine doing it with the sim coaches.
There is a point. I've said this before, but I'll try to say it quick. A super talent like Ty Majeski can take shit and turn it into magic. An average talent like us, bad equipment or less quality equipment that can actually hold us back. It's not so much that it makes you faster, but it's more like the bad equipment is actually making you slower. Is a better way to say it.
What if it's just boosting your confidence to make you that better? That's the reason it's making you better.
Well, I mean, I'm just more confident because I can control the braking without locking it up, whereas I could not with the Fanatec pedal.
So the FOMO, I want to talk about the FOMO, like you mentioned, fear of missing out. I think that's a big thing with what I will call career sim racers, people that are in it for the long haul, like us, year to year to year. Because look, ambient lighting. Oh, I need ambient lighting. Oh, wind sim. I need wind.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
We need the wind sim. Oh, I need shakers. Oh, I need a shaker on every corner. I need,
Look, I'm not saying I'm not guilty of this. I'm just as guilty.
And then button box isn't even good enough. We need a stream deck. And so I am the king of FOMO. Look, there's a title idea, king of FOMO. And I'm proud of it. Look, like you said, that's part of the fun of it. Last summer, I did that $7,000 project to do triple 48 inches with a stand and a new computer. And that was fun. I mean, just putting that project together, going to Micro Center, getting the pieces, ordering the equipment. Man, honestly, I get off on stuff like that. That's fun.
Yeah,
Love
I
it.
mean, we've covered this a lot in the past. So the only thing I'll say is I don't regret spending a cent on my rig. I love everything I've got, and even though I'll probably still want to upgrade, I don't regret any of it.
I could be drinking in a bar or smoking packs of cigarettes every day. I'm not throwing it away. I'm throwing it away to something I like. It's, we all have what we like to do.
Well, here's a question, William. Do you think Toyota is experiencing some FOMO?
Maybe not yet, but they might be after they write that check. In Arizona, Phoenix, outside Phoenix, Toyota is building a $50 million expansion to their test track. It's going to include an 11,650 acre facility where they test their vehicles. They're adding a 5.5 mile high speed oval track, a next gen off road park, and a new ride and handling surfaces to test the real world performance of their current and upcoming vehicles. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of acres.
It's a
Wow.
lot of pavement.
5.5 mile oval. I'm just thinking, what kind of draft pack racing can we do on there? Can we get a scan of this?
It's like
The banking of those turns.
Is that like Coca-Cola Speedway?
Right, but real, right? I don't think it'll have banking, but maybe it does, because the whole idea of a track this big is they want to bring it up to speed and not have to slow down. I think that's the idea of having such a long track.
Is this to test out, Lexus's higher performance cars? Maybe too.
I think it's how they put miles on them. So they want to put 50,000 miles on a car as a test. And so that's what they'll do. They'll just go run it, day and night.
Yeah, this is for their consumer stuff. I believe their race section has their own separate testing facility.
To be honest,
Does it? Okay.
I mean, this is good for the American economy for you guys. It's keeping, manufacturing there and testing and keeping a Japanese auto manufacturer in the United States.
Look, Arizona is blowing up right now. This is in Arizona. It says here, Governor Katie Hobbs said the investment proves why companies continue to bet big on Arizona, calling it a major win for economic growth, innovation, and opportunity. We got TSMC doing their chip manufacturing here. We got a bunch of huge data centers opening for AI and different things. I just want to race a 5.5 mile oval. I just think that sounds awesome.
Is that the one that's literally just a nonstop circle? There's not even a straightaway.
No, that's
in Italy.
Yeah, that one could be seen from Google Maps, from Earth, like outside. Earth.
So
that's
so
on
scroll
the
down,
script.
David, and take a look.
Yeah, that's on the script. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah,
So that's in Italy. It was originally a Peugeot testing site, I think, or maybe one of the European brands. Don't quote me on the Peugeot, but Fiat. Okay, yeah, Fiat, and then somebody else bought it. It set several records as far as speed. 7.8 mile banked, just perfect circle.
It's very, 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 very dangerous to run the speeds that they can get up to on there.
Imagine an endurance race there.
Well, the problem is you're constantly turning, so that the load on just one side of the car, the tires just don't last.
I see other road courses. There's 2 of them inside the oval. There's one outside.
I think that one big one there, Mike, is a dirt version of something.
Look, we always talk about what's going to happen when iRacing is done scanning all the tracks and cars in the world. Well, this is what I want. I want this. I want a scan of the Nardo ring.
I feel like that's something that you would more see in like Gran Turismo than you would in iRacing, but it's a possibility, like you said, Mike, once they run out of things to scan.
How about this opportunity, David?
Well, I wonder if you could run the Nardo ring blindfolded. Maybe, maybe not. But we have a video where I think this is they were actually it was a charity race of sorts, and they were actually having blind men guided by spotters in the car, telling them which direction to go. Right? Is that what we had going on in this race?
Yeah, it's a blind race.
Could you imagine if it was spouses and partners? One was blindfolded and the other one had to direct them around the track.
What a unique idea. So this was a tweet by NASCAR Regional, and they show, like you said, a video of blind man racing, and it's not pretty. But I thought this might be a fun attempt and hosted. Okay, so Saturday night hosted, we get together, and we pledge to put on the blindfold. Like, David, all you'd have to do is just not put on the VR, right? And then
I could actually just click a button and yeah, or yeah, just not put the VR on.
You need to have you need to have a blindfold on a stream on top of your VR. It would be so hilarious.
we all blindfold and we race in iRacing and see what happens.
Yeah, but we got to have a spotter and have somebody to help us.
Well, that's, you bring your wife in or somebody and look over your shoulder and she's yelling in your ear.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's not going to end well.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that.
So which one do you bring in, Mike?
Same
I
one
got
you
the-
do.
I think he meant number.
Yeah, my 1X is long gone, so that wouldn't be happening. Yeah, this is a pretty neat race, though. I would think that the route to success is just keep them slow enough where they can adjust, right? Instead of trying to go too fast, slow and steady. All right. So, what do we got next? We have preparations for Sao Paulo, and this is Kevin Vanderland, and he's using iRacing and is really happy with the new GT3 model, and he's using it to actually practice for, I guess, the real WEC race.
I like his,
Yeah, this
I like his
weekend.
wheel.
What wheel is it? I don't know.
It says Sim Engineering on it.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one. But yeah, Kevin Vanderland, he's pretty good, I think. Didn't he win a class of 24-hour Le Mans? Or am I thinking of somebody else? But yeah, pretty cool to, he says the tire model feels good. We heard from Daniel Morad as well. So I think, it's a positive take on the changes for sure.
That wheel is the Porsche wheel from Precision Sim Engineering. $2,400.
Oh, there you go.
He's a Red Bull.
Porsche.
He's a Red Bull athlete.
Porsche wheel driving a BMW. Oh my!
I'm surprised the sim doesn't blow up.
My oval rim has a Porsche logo on it, even though it's a round rim.
You can't see it anyway. What difference does it make?
Exactly. All right, more sim training for reality is the next item. We got a Instagram post from Endurance Media, and it talks about training for endurance with racing simulators. This one's pretty interesting. Max Jensen, he says, you can practice well on the simulator. Just set an alarm at midnight, wake up at 2:30 to race for 45 minutes, and then go back to sleep. Or you could just, run an actual online endurance race, and get kind of the same experience. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought this was interesting. He's training his body to be ready for that real endurance race that he's going to run in WEC or whatever he runs. And what better way to do it than to sim race, to train? Okay, my body's used to waking up 2 hours after a sleep and jumping in the car and adrenaline up real quick and race for 45 minutes and then, okay, I get the rest. And you just do that. It's repetition. It's like going to a gym and you lift the same weights every time.
I think I think the only issue that I would see with that is you don't have the ambient noise when you're, I don't know what it's like to be at a track, and I don't know what kind of noise canceling facilities these guys can go to sleep in, but I would think you'd still have noise.
If you're at a 24-hour race, it's actually when the caution comes out that you tend to wake up, right? Because it just becomes a hum if you're sleeping.
It's a different noise.
You just adapt to it, right? And then you'll suddenly wake up when all the cars slow down.
Except for when the Garage 56 is at Le Mans and whatever times it comes by.
When I've tried to sleep during a 24-hour race, I'd leave the sim up and running so I can hear it. Like in case my teammate crashes or something, I want to be able to hear what's happening, kind of thing. And I just have it on in the background.
I would actually mute the sim, and if I knew there wasn't going to be somebody else sticking around, I would unplug my headphones, which switches my system over to speakers and move to a different channel. And if somebody needed to get a hold of me, he could just drop channels and start yelling and wake me up. But the real secret to being able to handle getting up in the middle of the night multiple times is just get old.
Do it every night, whether I want to or not.
I don't have to train my body anymore. There's multiple pee breaks in the middle of the night. So yeah.
Good Lord, you old men.
Your time is coming, trust me.
All right, we have a record breaker next, Will.
Yeah, at the Nürburgring, the BMW M2 CS has set a time of 7 minutes 33 seconds. 0.1. So it beats the previous record.
No, that's the old record. 7:25.
Oh, it's a previous. Okay, you're right. So it beat that by 7 seconds.
That's
I don't
solid.
know. Is this a GT3 class? I wasn't really sure because there's so many classes that run there. I get confused. So what's what?
It's a production car, isn't it? Though it's not a.
Yeah, this is a production car. But look, the reason I put this on the script about a real race car on a real track and a real race time is I've been running the same car at the same track in iRacing for a week recently. And I know my best time is a 7:37. And so the record was 7:33. And I knew that throughout that week. And I was like, man, I'm 4 seconds off that world record. Man, where am I leaving these 4 seconds? And so he was eating me up. But look, it's a long track. And 4 seconds is tough to make up. But anyway, these guys come up and in real life and they do a 7:25. I'm like, damn.
What were other cars doing in that race, Mike?
So in iRacing, a good time is the 7:30s, 7:31s. The fast guys are doing those times.
So this car might not be the exact same GT3 spec that we're running in iRacing.
Well,
it might not. It's still an M2.
And the sim's distance might not be completely accurate. Like what is it? How many kilometers is it? Or miles?
Why would the distance be wrong?
Like 12 miles.
Sorry, I mean like the accuracy of over a total 7 minutes that's a tough thing to recreate completely.
Still laser scanned. It should be right.
Yeah, the distance would be right, but
if they get the physics right, the time should be right.
I meant the physics part of it.
I think what you mean is the physics gets amplified over such a long lap, right? Instead of it being a tenth of a difference, it's 2 seconds of a difference.
It's a lot easier to make Bristol more accurate than here.
I think that's part of what I want to talk about with this is I feel like the iRacing car is very close to the real time. I mean, you look how these times match up. They're pretty similar. I mean, over such a long distance. It's impressive. The physics are spot on, obviously.
All right, it's almost ironic that we're covering this because probably most of our listeners, unless they're going to decide they want to start a Smurf account, don't need this. But the summer sale is on. You can save up to 64% on all new memberships through July 10th. Actually, that ends today.
They need to. This is something I don't know if anybody else has felt it, but I mean, we only get the Black Friday sale for like actual members that get a discount on something. Like, I feel like there's these summer sales that they leave out the actual members that have paid over time.
Not really, because we get the Black Friday sale, and then they don't do new members on Black Friday.
Okay, but I have a Steam account and games go on sale at times of year. Things like you could just put like, car sales or something on sale just every once in a while. Like I'm just saying like it's, you know, have something to entice people sometimes to buy another car or something like that.
All of us are already on the pretty much the automatic discount anyway, right?
I'm just saying, but in general, members of not everybody has as much as we do on the Sim.
More cells. All right. I think this one is up your alley, Mike, with tracking posts from the iRacing staff.
Well, actually, Brad must have put this in here, but
Yeah, I
but
did.
but look, this you're giving away our secret, Brad. No, it's a good secret. This is how I get a lot of topics for the show. Is I check this website about once a day, and I just briefly look at it. But it's called devtrackir.herokuapp.com. Anyway, if you go to this website, I have it bookmarked. You can easily see any post made by the iRacing staff. So anybody who works for iRacing, their post on the forums will be captured and presented to you in a nice, appealing manner where you can easily open it and see what they have to say.
Yeah, the one thing I did like about it is you can, as you go through it, and once you've read it, you can mark it as read. So that way, when you come back, the next day, you're not going back going through, oh, well, is that a different post or what? So, yeah, I stumbled across this. It was in somebody's signature on the forums, and I was like, whoa, I like this. I mean, I know there's an option on the forums
There is,
but it's not as neat. And as usual, third party always better than iRacing.
correct. Yeah, it's a visually appealing, easier to read than just looking straight at the forums, actually. And so, yeah, I've been using this forever to help get topics.
All right, we have a whole lot of Sim Gaming Expo reports. So first of all, we've got our discount code IRLP10. Get your 10% tickets off. I know we've already got our tickets from getting our booth. I think we've pretty much all got our flights and hotels booked. I'm driving, but definitely got the hotel booked.
Me too. I'm driving. We're booked. Got our tickets for my dad.
All right, so one of the first exhibitor announcements is Arc Dynamics.
Ooh, this is 6DOF motion platform, guys. Starts at $3,500. Oh man, I am so excited for the opportunity to be able to try a motion rig.
We're all going to leave Chicago planning on being about 35 to 7,000 poorer afterwards.
This is going to go in the back of John's car on his way out with his wife's stuff that she gets at the mall.
It's like I told my wife, just ignore all the boxes when they start showing the week after.
It's promotion. I'm testing it. It's promotion. They send it for promotion.
That's right. I'm going to tell her, I got it all free.
Greg, you could actually avoid duties, couldn't you? Or slash
well,
tariffs?
I'm down there enough days that it wouldn't. I don't have to pay as much going across if I bring it back.
Would you even have to claim it though? I mean, are they actually going to check everything?
Well, if I have a motion rig in the back of the car, they might.
All right, McConey Setup Shop is now a sponsor.
Nice. I'm anxious to meet Mr. McConey. I've talked to him a few times, and be cool.
They're going to be providing setups in the competition area, and we're also doing this Sim Gaming Expo challenge that most of us are going to be talking about. I'm sure that's on the list, so I'll hit that again in a second. So, but they're providing all the setups for that. It's running fixed setups, but with their adjusted setups. Another exhibitor announcement: a PV, Crafting Ultimate Sim Experience.
It's with equipment and stuff, like a integrator.
The turnkey racing and flight simulator systems.
And co-exhibiting with SimiCube.
It's a California-based company.
All right, this next guy's logo must have come from Fox Sports, Gray's Dynamics.
He's got a nice YouTube channel. We've talked about some of his videos before on the show. He reviews equipment and stuff.
ChatGPT, can you make me look like Fox race car driver?
Then we have Driven Dynamics. Their logo is DX. Or I guess it's Driven Dynamics X. I'm not sure. Their logo is a little confusing. If it's Driven Dynamics DX, I am confused.
It's another co-exhibit with SimCube.
They got 6 DOF motion systems, so we got at least 2 of them. Well, 3, because Simcraft was one of the first exhibitors announced, and they have a bomb motion system too.
All right, so click on the link to their website. Just look at the front page. They've got one of those rigs that's like 3 feet up in the air on the shocks and everything.
Oh yeah, we can't wait to see Brad in that. Yeah, I'm stoked. It's going to be fun just to even watch somebody do it.
I can't wait to capture all these videos with a lot of the stuff here when we're at this event.
Working on down the list, we have a staffing partner announcement, and that's 25 or 2S SimStaff.
They provide turnkey staffing and simulator hardware solutions for events around the globe, supporting everything from brand activations to training and competition.
It's crazy how many businesses are coming out of sim racing.
I didn't even know this was a business possibility, but
it's almost like LinkedIn for sim racing.
It's like
I love it.
I feel like it's a catering service type thing too.
All right, and then we have the Sim Gaming Expo Challenge Series. So this is going to be basically kind of a tournament sort of type thing. It's going to start off with a time attack at Daytona in the Porsche GT3. So I'm going to be buying another GT3 car. I was almost tempted to ask Brad if we could switch to it for Spa just to get used to it. It's multi-stage, so it's going to start with a time attack, and then there's going to be some qualifying. There's going to be 3 qualifying races for the top 75 drivers that can make the qualifying races, and then the 30 finalists will have a live championship event at the Schaumburg Convention Center at the event. So I think we're all going to just about try this, maybe kind of hoping that there's not going to be that many drivers to compete with, because I'm not, a top 75 driver on the service. But
no, the idea though is the people that do compete in the time attack and the hosted race on August 9th, David, and make the finals, are they actually going to fly to Chicago and attend and be there and show up? I mean, I would guess not everybody would. And so that leaves an opportunity for us who might not make the 30, but we're still on the list because we participated.
It says to be put in the 30, you have to show proof of tickets to the Sim Expo.
Ooh, okay.
Good catch.
And then, in fact, they have, if you don't qualify for the top 75, you can register as still on their Discord, because they're basically gonna fill the grid as people don't show, to try to get 75 racers in for people who don't show or definitely say they can't show.
Does this mean that if I qualify, David's gonna steal my spot by saying he has my ticket?
I think George knows who all we are. All of us are.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to bring out the Rexy car here to do some laps for Daytona.
Yeah, let's do it. It starts the 14th for the time attack, and then the round 2 is August 9th.
All right, that brings us to some events. We've got the iRacing and National MS Society reunite for the race cure on August 13th. Tell us a little bit about that, William.
Get back to it. Yeah, so Race for the Cure, it's an MS charity event that iRacing puts on yearly, I think. Yep, Multiple Scars Society for the 5th consecutive year for the unique iRacing special event, August 13th. The refreshed GT3 cars, I guess with the updated tire model, take on Lamrock for 2 hours. You can do it solo, as a team. It's got the 4 abbreviated special event slots. Oh, no, just kidding. These are different. Friday, August 15th at 8 Eastern, 8 Pacific, 8 Sydney, and 8 Central European time is the different time slots are going to go for it.
Wow, what a poster on this next one. Man, I like that one.
The poster on Spa is nice. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, Spa,
Yeah.
24 hours.
Yep. And so it's all GT3 cars. It's running this weekend. We've got a 4-man team going in it. And
I want to
I've
see
ran
a
a couple
14.
sprint
I want to
races.
see a 14-person team.
You can do up to 16 people. I can't even imagine having to try to figure out that schedule.
Let's see. Well, it would be doable. I mean, nobody would run more than 2 hours, probably.
It'd be the easiest would be just do 12. 12 would be the quickest way to get through it.
Yeah, everybody does too. They do have the final BOP out though, so let's scroll down and take a look at that. I'm not going to read all the other stats. They're all pretty standard nowadays.
I think the BOP was done to hopefully tame the McLaren a little bit.
Well, let's take a look at the McLaren. It's got
anchor
a
on
10
the Acura.
10 kilogram penalty as well as 1.25% power cut and 97% fuel.
Yeah, I'm not sure the
Acura's
fuel was
definitely got a lot
necessary.
of weight.
I don't know. I ran a sprint race earlier this week, and it was like the McLaren Cup was what it felt like.
I feel like people, I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, but I feel like people just see that's what a pro picks, and then, that's the car. It happened at Daytona with the Acura, even though the Acura at Daytona was a problem, for sure.
Well, it looks like it's a big problem because if you're going to put 15 kilograms, it must be a beast down the straightaway.
So what did they do to the Mercedes? I don't think it's getting as hit. Well, it's not getting much of a weight, but it is a little bit lower on the power. It's got the same power cut as the McLaren. And the fuel thing, William, don't discount that. Before they paid much attention to the fuel, one year the McLaren was getting 2 to 3 laps further every stint, and we basically got to do one less pit stop than everybody.
That was such an old car back then.
Yeah, that was the old car, I believe, and I get it, but I don't think it's really going all that much farther than other cars, to be honest. It was, you had to save to get the 26 lap out of it even before they reduced fuel. So I don't know, maybe they're trying to tighten it even more.
But what happens when you cut the power? What happens to the fuel mileage?
I do not know.
It probably goes up.
Depends on how much more throttle time you are on to make more power. It all depends on how long you're on the pedal for.
Yeah, but if it's not putting out as much horsepower, it's not putting out as much. It's not using as much
That
power.
doesn't mean anything. It's taking more to get through the air sometimes. It's complicated, but yeah, you'd think that, but sometimes it doesn't work that way.
All right, we'll be running it. Hopefully, we'll have another good result. I do know that we've got our majors coins on the way in the mail. I'm looking forward to getting that. Mine should come in Saturday.
Mine's still in the States. It's in, where did I see it? Portland, Oregon right now.
Well, that's where it ships out of.
Yeah, so it only just got going.
All right, we got another event. AMG Mercedes Hot Laps are now open. Tell us about this one, Brad.
Yeah, this was AMG just put this up. Started on the 3rd of July, runs through the 13th. So it's attack mode at Monza. So get your fastest laps in, but you had to complete the registration there's a link there. You have to register for SimGrid, and the event itself is in the event tab. So gotta go an extra step to do that before you turn your laps.
And then anything else happening in iRacing?
This week at iRacing, Spa we've already discussed. The IndyCar Series is at Iowa, so that should be a short track with a very fast car. And then most of your other normal weekly races as well. And then as far as the weekly tune-in that they've been doing this season, Skip Barber Racing School is tonight, and then Race Spots, the Radical E Cup will be Friday, and then of course the top split from Spa will be broadcast as well on Race Spot on Saturday.
All right, podcast housekeeping. Leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform to make it easier for more listeners to find the podcast. Mention the podcast to your fellow drivers so they don't miss out. We would appreciate it. Get involved in the discussion at our Discord channel. Lots going on over there. And, of course, our show notes at iRacersLounge.com. We're in regular rotation at Performance Motorsports Network. And get your merchandise. Wear it proudly at the show at iRacersLounge.shop.
All right, we have 2 weeks of fantasy to talk about, as well as the bracket challenge, which has no race winners remaining in it. So kick it off, Brad.
Yeah, so we're going to knock out Atlanta and then Chicago this week. So Atlanta, we had Matt Robb 40 with the win. Second was Team Dewan. Tied for third was Mike Wuju and Bobby Jonas. Fifth was Res Dog. So Atlanta Motor Speedway, Echo Park Speedway, seems so long ago.
That was a good race, though. That was a really good race.
Yeah, it was. Had the big one that collected pretty much all of the favorites for the bracket challenge were all caught up in that first big wreck. Denny Hamlin and a bunch of them. So, yeah, not a perfect bracket came out of Atlanta. So,
why did Atlanta? Look, we want what happened at Atlanta to happen at Daytona and Talladega. What was different there? I mean, at the end, it was almost like they could get a run, and he would dive down to the bottom and we'd have a new leader and it would kind of shuffle. People were shuffling out of the lead back and forth. It was fun to watch.
It's a shorter track. Yeah, handling's a bigger issue.
Yeah, handling
Speedway, but it's different.
Yeah, handling's really, it's kind of, if you think back to before they repaved Daytona, Daytona was that way. It was a handling track versus Talladega. So, and there's a lot of discussion, with less cars on the track. Did that make the racing better? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Look, at the end of the day, I think you had a lot of guys that were taken out that were high in the points, and you've got a lot of guys that are left that don't have wins. So, of course, they're going to be more aggressive. I mean, you got Keselowski and Elliott. Neither one have a win this year, and both of them were super aggressive. And, Elliott coming out with the win. And then Chicago, let's see. With the win was I'm Not a Professional. Second was Canadian. Third, iRacing Mason. Fourth, TGI Racing. And then fifth was Cletus 545. So SVG, 4 out of 5 races there he's won between Cup and Xfinity.
Yeah, no surprise really there. We knew what he was capable of, but the young Connor Zilich Very impressive too to keep up with him.
He's raw still, but he'll learn, and it'll be good to see. What's this battle like next year, 2 years from now?
Yeah, I mean Connor's great as long as he just needs to learn to either not destroy the car before the race or destroy the car during the race, because he makes life very difficult for himself every single time they go to a road course.
But SVG, I mean, I think we're in a different world in NASCAR now where he is just a dominant force on road courses. And, back in the day, we used to have the ringers. It was Boris Said and people like that would come in and just do one-offs. But this guy, they give him the full season and he's performing, and look at his playoff points now. And wow.
Well, the reason he's doing the full season is because that's all he has to do is win a road course to get in the playoffs.
Just remember, so far still, he is only won on the tracks that aren't, well, in the Cup Series, he's only won on the tracks that are the newer road courses.
So let's see what happens at Sonoma, in other words, right?
Well, this is what I'm like. I've been listening to it all week on the podcast. Oop, something happened there. Anyways, I've been just listening all this whole week on the podcasts. They're forgetting some of the major guys that, are still competitive on the other old road courses that have been around for a while.
Well, I know Larson dominated Sonoma last year, but I don't know outside. Where's Larson been since May?
Yeah.
Well, he's been racking up points. He just hasn't been his normal self.
Look, I expect SVG is going to have a half second or more on everybody.
We'll see.
At
I mean,
Sonoma?
he finished second at Watkins. I think Sonoma and Watkins, that levels the playing field quite a bit.
Busher outran him at Watkins Glen.
No. He didn't outrun him. He moved him. He got by him. He did not outrun him.
SVG made a mistake at Watkins Glen and he won.
He did, but I would consider outrunning what SVG did at Mexico and what he did at Chicago. That's outrunning. I don't think Busher getting by him with a lap to go is outrunning him.
Look, in the Chicago race, they'd go into a restart. Within 3 or 4 corners, he's already got a second and a half gap. It's 3 or 4 corners.
It's easy when you pinch him off into the wall in the exit.
Yeah, it was fair. I mean, that was a move that, Connor wasn't really happy with, I think. But look, it's NASCAR. Bar rules, man.
Yeah, Connor probably would have done the same thing if the roles were reversed. All right, so overall, coming out of Chicago, we got Matt Robb 40 in the lead with 35.74, followed by Res Dog. Third is Mike Wuju. Fourth, Mud Dog. Fifth, Cletus 545.
All right. First, we're going to, even though we're starting things, we're going to put a cap on it, or maybe just a bunch of caps on a wheel. Nice eye roll there, Brad. We have a lovely sim racing button cap set.
Yeah, this is for the Asher wheels.
Break them. I hate caps. On all the Fanatec had the worst caps ever.
So this is the Lovely Racing. If everybody knows, it's the that does the dashboard. So he's expanded out into some other stuff. He's doing caps now, stickers and stuff like that. So yeah, replacement caps and buttons and stuff for the Asher wheel. So I know he's got a collaboration with them. So look, that's the one thing I think is neat. Again, it's more customization. You buy a wheel, and it's like, well, I don't like that color. Well, now you can go through and change buttons.
They have good buttons too on that wheel, so I'm
hoping they're good quality then. I think it'd be cool if you could design your own logo on a site and then get them shipped to you for like a buttons. Like you could customize your own whole wheel instead of what this guy's made. What they've made for certain things. I would go in and, hey, design this, and then he'll print it up for you type thing or whatever.
Well, there you go, Greg. There's your new business.
Fuck, I don't have any time, let alone to do this show, let alone create another business.
What somebody does have time to send in some wonderful suggestions and feedback. So we have a message in from Jeff Webker. And he first points a site that we may have covered or may have not. And it says info at Sim Racers Group. It looks like a rig.
Now, it's a sim place where you go to race in rigs, basically. One of those pay to race, and it's in San Jose, California. They're closed on Mondays, but yeah, I guess you can go there and race their little rig.
So for 5 hours, $35 an hour. 1 hour, $40.
Not cheap.
Yeah,
No,
5 hours is $165. Holy moly!
Think about it. Most green fees are not that high. Unless you're trying to go to one of the Players Championship courses.
Augusta? Oh wait, you can't go to Augusta.
So yeah, that's pretty expensive. But on the same token, we have a rig. So I don't foresee myself ever going to a sim center when I have a rig right here. He also mentions a site called, he mentions that he bought his computer through Lenovo Advantage, and he has a tool that can help monitor your hardware.
Yeah, we brought this up, I guess, a few shows ago, and I said something about some sort of either overlay or app or something in order just to keep an eye on temps. I think Mike said he had something up. So, yeah, listener had thrown this up there. I grabbed it. It's not bad. It's very detailed. So, still looking for something maybe just to be able to throw on the fourth monitor. I don't know if there's something that I can narrow down to have, CPU temp, GPU temp, and stuff like that, as opposed to this is, it's fantastic, but it's giving you way more information than what I can even look at if I'm trying to have it up while I'm racing.
So I guess.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So I guess I missed that episode. I've been around computers since I was like 4 years old, so I guess I kind of figured everybody already knew about this. But this is hardware monitor. Like you said, your computer has 100 different temperature sensors, voltage sensors. It'll monitor your RPMs and your fans and stuff. And hardware monitor will spit all that out for you. It'll track it all. Really useful to see, make sure you're not overheating, make sure all your voltage is correct, make sure your CPU is running at the correct megahertz and all that. But you're right. It's just kind of an application that doesn't. There's a lot of information to it. You can narrow it down, but there's a lot of information to it. Brad, there are some other stuff you can put out there. It's more like overlays that you can track just CPU, RAM, graphics card temps, and stuff like that. I'll get some of them and put them up for you.
I use Razer. I use the Razer software for it. This CPU monitor, the hardware monitor. This is how I found out my water cooler fan was failing, because the RPMs would go on and then off, and I could see the temp building because of the fan failing. So it's good to monitor that kind of stuff when you need it.
So, Brad, you're gonna like for your Stream Deck a plugin called GPU Metrics. I got that on my Stream Deck, and it provides buttons. And I have a button that shows percentage used, temperature, and then how many watts it's used as well.
Now, what's it called again?
GPU Metrics. And that's kind of cool because I can just look down at the button box and see the buttons, and they update real time.
So you can actually do that. Sorry, David. You can actually do that for your entire system. You can do GPU, CPU, RAM usage, temperature, all that stuff on your Stream Deck. It's really cool. Each of them is on a separate button.
So
Very
next is
cool.
an Instagram post from Sim Magic, Sim Magic Official, and it looks like, well, I guess it's an oval rim. It's actually got more buttons than you see on oval rims, but it's hard to see the scale, but it looks tiny.
The drifting rim, right? Because he's got the drifter here. Checking it out. It's the Neo X330W is the name of the wheel.
It's a 330 millimeter wheel. It's not small.
Oh, that's what the 330 means. Okay, makes sense.
This here is Simagic's brand new.
So
It's
got
not bad.
No, it's not. It's got the hub that they released last year. With this one, they've got it mounted on the outside. You can mount the hub either way. You can either put it behind the spoke or ahead of the spoke. So if you've got a wheel that is more of a deep dish, you can put that hub on the inside as opposed to the backside.
It's good for a NASCAR rim, like the deep dish NASCAR rims.
It looks really plasticky, though.
It's the button boxes that forged carbon fibers, that other type. It's not the traditional carbon fibers, the forged. So, yeah, I think it looks pretty good.
So just for those of us who don't talk in millimeters, that's 12. It's basically 13 inches. So it's just the perspective. It looks tiny, or the guy has giant hands. One of the two. All right, we got this one's always right up Mike's alley. The question is it really worth 600 more?
Yeah, DJ EJ gets to try out the Moza active brake pedal, the one I got, and tell us, is it really worth 600 more? Look, he's got the same impressions I do. Is the adjustability of the brake is all done in the software. You don't have to go change springs and change, rubbers and different things. You don't have to get down on your knees with tools and take it apart. You push a button in the software. In fact, if for the video watchers, I put the software up on my screen here in the background so you could kind of see it. But yeah, I've been digging into it, trying to learn it. There's so many different things. There's one slider in here that I'm still trying to figure out that takes it from a load cell fill to a hydraulic fill, and you can kind of drag it somewhere in the middle of the two. And I've been reading in the Moza Facebook group about different people trying it different ways, and I'm just trying to absorb as much as I can about it. It's been really fun.
Try it as the hydraulic. You'll like it more as hydraulic than probably the other way.
Where it's just super stiff and you're just putting pressure on it. Yeah. It depends on the car. I mean, when you look at that video earlier with Daniel Morad in a GT3, he had tons of play on that brake. Throw distance. He was a huge throw distance. And so, but that's what I'm trying to replicate. So when I get in a GT3, I want to have that kind of flimsy, it's moving a lot. And then when I get in a F4, I want it to be just upright and stiff. It doesn't move, and you can really just jump from one to the other.
All right, this next one really brings WinSim to the next level. So I know Brad is itching to get this. Actually, it's not a WinSim, but is it basically a ventilated seat? This might be something that Mike would actually like to keep cool.
Yeah, it's like a seat pad that has somehow a system where you plug it into 12 volt and it blows out air. And I get the swamp back and the swamp butt, as you would say, in a longer race, even with the air conditioning on and the fans blowing. So yeah, this might be something I'm interested in. Kind of cool.
I'm thinking it's basically helping you because it's separating you. You're kind of sitting in between, and then it can run air between those dimples, right?
The dimples lift you up enough so the air can get through. I think, yeah.
Because I mean, you got heated and cool seats in cars now, where you got little perforations in the seats that let air through, so that you can keep cool in the seats. In most luxury cars now too, right? So it's the same type of technology. As long as you can separate the person, you need to get a gap between you and that seat to be able to create airflow.
What part of the video shows like smoke or something coming out of it, but I think they just do that to show that air flows through it.
Yeah, they use dry ice to show the airflow.
Especially if you're in a dry climate, the moving air will help sweat evaporate, which will cool you off. All right, next we have a wheel by Hammer One. Or no, it's by Sim Design, but it's called the Hammer F1.
Did they build it with a hammer?
Kind of looks like it. It's kind of the aesthetic of it. It just looks square to me.
It looks construction-y.
It looks like it's from Italy. 820 to 920 euros, depending on your paddle selection. Got a 4.3-inch touchscreen.
It's just ugly.
Yeah, it is ugly. It's a nice button layout, but it is ugly.
Okay, so I'm not the only one that's thought the same thing then.
I almost see it as more of something you would see in an airplane.
It reminds me of the steering wheel from the Futurama ship.
It's weird how the grips go way lower than the bottom of the wheel in the middle.
If you were to turn it upside down, David, that's what it looks like.
A yoke.
In an airplane. If you turn it upside down.
Yep. So it's kind of like that meme I sent you earlier where it says if you can read this, press escape to tow. Because all the words were upside down.
I've been waiting for this next topic, David, the whole show.
Well, take it.
SimLab has announced the P1X Ultimate. Wow. This is something, guys. If I was buying a cockpit today, I think this would be it. I mean, I love this cockpit. So they took everything that we didn't like about the Pros and they fixed it. Like there's slots visible on both sides of the extrusion. They have the new style connectors that make it real easy to put together. The uprights are straight up and down. Totally new pedal tray. Unique design. I mean, what do you guys think? This thing is looking awesome.
I like the triple. I just clicked on the triples added to it. I kind of like the way that they've designed it.
If I needed one, I'd get it. But, these are long-term purchases, too.
Right. So you and I both, David, have the P1X, the original SimLab P1X. And you're right. Once you buy a rig of this caliber, you really probably never need to buy another one, And these are one and done kind of purchases. But look, if you're looking for your final rig, man, I can't tell you enough about this one. This one looks great. Pricing $1,318.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that the slanted upright fad is going away.
Without the monitor mounting, it's only $999. That's without a seat, though.
All right, I can't remember if I watched this one or not. I don't think I have, but we've got a review from Boosted Media of the new Pimax Crystal Super, comparing it, and he's comparing it to I forget what the other glasses are called, the real little ones. But the question, the clickbait question is it the new king of VR?
The big screen or something?
Yeah, that's right. Big screen 2.
Yeah, and he compares it to the regular crystal, but this is the super crystal.
It's got 4,000 pixels in each eye.
So I watched this video, or I kind of skipped around on it, but I think the consensus was for sim. If you're just doing sim racing only, you don't really need the super. The crystal or the big screen would be just fine. If you do other gaming and stuff, then you might want to, move on to the super. That's kind of the takeaway I took.
Do these run? I haven't watched the video. Do these run really good, or on like just decent graphics cards, or do you need the top of the line to run this stuff?
I don't know that he talked about that. I guess you need something decent, yeah.
Especially for 4K, right? Because it's a double lens, right?
My crystal is the crystal light is getting by with my 39 Ti, which the 39 Ti is as good as I think a 4080 regular, except it's missing one of the a couple of features that came in the 40 series. I forget what it's called, but there's stuff that doesn't apply on the 3090.
He talked a lot about the part, David, where it's focused in the middle of what you're looking at, but it's blurrier off to the edges.
That's called quad view now.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Which used to be called foveated rendering, but they're just calling it quad view because it's kind of divided into different, I guess 4 sectors. You save processing power because you don't look with your eyes, you look with your face essentially whenever you turn a direction. So if you try to look in the corner of the spot with your eyes, you can actually see that everything's kind of fuzzy. But yeah, definitely for sim racing, and even for my flight sim, the crystal light's been wonderful. All right, what do we have next, William? Greg raised his hand after I already said William.
Have at it, Greg.
So
There's
Greg,
more for him.
Greg, come to the front of the class.
I showed this to my wife the other day. I saw it on TikTok as well, with the guy's gaming rig in the back, or his sim rig in the back of his rig. Quite interesting to take out. Well, I guess he has the bottom bunk is taken out to have his rig installed in the back and taken down the road. It's pretty. I don't know what he's running it off of, or is he just playing normal games that he doesn't need Wi-Fi? But I tried that on the road for a little bit to try and practice iRacing when I was gone, when I used to do long haul back in the day, and it didn't work very well with truck stop Wi-Fi back then. But I used to game on the road a lot with a TV that folded down, but I know what this is like when you got time to kill when you're not doing anything at a shipper or at the end of the day and you can't go to bed. It's a rough life out there for them, but I like the setup.
Yeah, next level elite GT rig, Moza wheelbase and pedals. It looks like they're running off a laptop. I even see a refrigerator there.
I wonder if he plays truck sim.
Gets out of the truck at the truck stop and goes in and plays truck sim. That'd be awesome.
Okay, I think I heard you say something about advanced sim racing, Mike. So this next one is interesting. It kind of looks like it folds or something.
Nope.
Or is that just two pieces?
It's the new formula setup, so it's based on the F1 styles. What do you call it? The way you sit for F1.
Okay, so it's just real low to the ground and doesn't need as much hardware.
Yeah, so they just announced this. I got the email the other day. I don't know, Brad, you get the same emails or anything like they're from, but I was quite interested. Advanced Sim Racing has a lot of nice rigs. I run one of the Advanced Sim Racing rigs, but this is a great choice either way with the ASRF Aero or the ASRF Pro. to run, if you want to sit back in the Formula seating position style type rigs.
Even if you do, I don't know why you'd choose this over a regular ASR rig, though. I mean, I don't like the slanted upright stuff. I just don't. And then there's nowhere to mount shifters or anything else.
That plate at the back there on that Pro must be really thick I just feel like there'd be a weak spot on those upper right arms.
Anybody who goes with a Formula rig is not going to be using an H pattern or sequential shifter.
Good point.
They're going to be running pedals only. They're not even going to have a clutch on.
I was just going to say, yeah, they'll just have 2 pedals too. I mean, they give you it's 2 good choices. I mean, it's $629.99. I'm guessing, Bradway, you pulled this. It's probably the American price. Yeah, okay, it is the American price, and then $1449.99 for the F Pro.
All right, we got another M Booster video, Mike. This one has is there a 3-month post review, basically?
Yeah, OC Racing has been running it for 3 months, so he kind of gives us
How did he have his for 3
his
months?
takeaways. Well, these guys, they get a lot of equipment. Poor Sarah Nochi, she's filled up her apartment with rigs. I think she has 5 of them in one room now. But it's amazing how much equipment these guys get. But yeah, so he's had this for 3 months and kind of shows it off, tells us what he thinks about it. Look, it's no different than what I already talked about before. Is the adjustability with the software is second to none. I mean, that's really the beauty of the Moza Active Brake. Comparing it to the SemiCube version of that, which is so much more money, they're quite similar.
All right, William, what's this next little thing? Are those actually 8-way switches?
7-way, I think. It's a little mini button box put out by Apex Sim Racing. 2 7-way switches, so 14 total inputs. They suggest using it to navigate the black boxes. I guess that's the use case for it. I can't really think of anything else. Not sure I would use it, but I guess if you're tight on space, it's a little novel idea.
Their stuff is nice, but it is expensive.
Yeah, $125 for that little thing.
You could get a button box with
the same
14
price.
different print things for like even a lot less. Some of them.
Yeah, that is pretty high, and yeah, that's the primary function of that. I guess 7-way is moving around the black boxes, because you can press it in, you can twist it, and you've got the 4 cardinal directions.
So
Why do you need more than one, though?
Is it an American company?
No, they're European. British.
Okay.
So what use case is it for to have 2, though? Like, is there any scenario in iRacing where I need 2 of these at the same time?
No,
can't
I would think it would just 1. I mean, 1 you could run through everything in the black box, plus even then adjust your. Yeah, you could go backwards, forwards, up, down, turn left or right to adjust the value, and then push it in to set it.
Wow.
And
then Mike could finally have his brake bias button for the second one.
Okay, yeah. So I didn't know what I would use the second one for.
on the Fanatic wheel, the second one, I don't think it twists. Hang on. Yeah, no, the one on the left does not twist, and it's analog. It's not 7-way. So it's actually more like an Xbox controller, right? With the analog stick.
I like with the Moza hardware, I can turn the rotary knobs. I can turn them into just one preset knob, or I can turn them into a 12-way switch too with just the hardware.
I was wrong. Apparently, this is New Jersey based.
All right, we have an Instagram post of a definitely custom build, and so I see what looks like an engine.
What's neat is the I guess you'd say the header of the engine is the graphics card.
That would be the cylinder heads.
Cylinder heads, right? So they have it positioned as it looks like a cylinder head, and he's got an actual looks like an engine block that it's mounted to, but all the PC is built into it. It's pretty cool. It looks like an engine.
Yeah, it's an engine. It's an engine block out of a Shelby GT Ford.
Oh, fuck. Not a cheap block to have that you could just put another thing on.
Is that neon thing on the front just the water cooler?
That's what it looks like. Yeah, some kind of water cooling.
But you can actually see the fluid.
I always thought these external ones are cool, like when people like mount them on a wall or inside a table or something like that. It's an interesting way of doing it. I just don't know, like, how functional is that for
Dust.
Well,
Dust.
like, is it, would it still operate the same way for, like, if we're running sustained periods of time, like gaming, like iRacing, like we do?
I was tempted to do something crazy, like you said, on a wall or an open build. But look, I'm so glad I did a box and a case, because I have yet to open that case, and it's been closed for a year. There's no dirt in it. It's sealed.
I want to do a themed case for my next one.
You'd be surprised how much dust can get through even the little fan filters. But it won't have big stuff in it. I would love to have the fish tank set up.
But if you have the right air pressure from the fans in your build, it keeps that, well, relatively clean. Like I've looked at it. Like I went to go clean it, and I was going to open it up, and I started looking closely with the flashlight. It wasn't even worth opening up. There was nothing to clean.
Oh, I bet you if those things stop, you'll find dirt, because you're drawing air in, so that means you're pulling something in.
Oh boy, stickers. If you can't print the custom buttons, you can at least get these stickers, Greg.
Is this Tony Grove's new company? Sorry, that's an old joke. Yeah, so it's Cube Controls has their new lineup of stickers for your GTX2 and CSX3 wheels, I guess. I don't know. I've never liked sticker idea, but I guess if you want to overlay these onto your buttons, it looks like a cool thing. But I wonder if it's like something like, once again, I'm saying, like, could you customize it instead of what someone else wants the logos to be?
Yeah, I'm sure someone could make you a customized sticker sheet.
It's kind of cool though. They do look nice.
Yeah, they do. I mean, these probably would hold up. I mean, for me, I race with gloves, so there's never any sweat that gets on there. So I don't think it would be an issue.
I'm not too concerned about it because I can't see them.
What's the skull button gonna be for? Is that to exit iRacing?
To tow.
All that for.
Rage quit.
Either that or it's the lag switch hack button.
Let's talk NIS results. Echo Park Speedway Friday Open. Tony Rochette P2. This stupid track was pretty much a conga line whole race. Avoided some wreck and avoided leaders wrecking. Came to the checkered for a silver trophy. Brad P10.
Yeah. Really thought this was going to be a win. Led the second half of the race, only to get right hooked from the lead with 8 laps to go. So, yeah, I mean, I think I led, 57 laps or something, some stupid amount of laps. And, filed the protest and, got the normal response that there was no way it was intentional. There's more races. You can try again and everything else. So, I don't know, whatever, when somebody goes to your right side and then turns left, it's pretty freaking intentional.
Were you weaving about, or
stewards are really stupid?
No, I wasn't weaving. I was coming through the tri-oval.
what can you do? I mean, you're leading the race, you're running your line. How do you avoid it? You just can't. If they're going to turn you, they're going to turn you.
Oh yeah, and then after a while, after the race, I get I get the private message, you moved. I'm like, no, I didn't.
Okay, moving on to Wednesday Open NIS at Chicago Street. Brad, great run, P3.
Yeah, so I ran P2 for the bulk of the race, but the tires were just getting super sketchy. Late pit stop, probably not, but 8 to go or something. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. I pitted. There wasn't a whole lot of time left, but ended up getting loose and spun. Ended up giving up P2, but yeah, just much better managed race compared to what I did in the A Open before that. So I thought I was going to get done with 0x, but that spin, it got me.
Okay, Thursday Open, I ran P5, started P8, had a pretty uneventful race. I did have a lazy spin at one point with a little front end damage, but was able to keep it going. There were only 4 cars on the lead lap, and I finished P4. It was the second split out of 3. Super proud of a top 5 there. Chris Waldron took the pole, but wrecked out on lap 1 as the leader. Ouch.
He was putting in a huge effort the last 2 weeks here on the road course. Chris has.
Yeah, he has. He spent a lot of time, and it's showed off. I mean, he's started on the pole, and as we'll find out here soon, he got a win.
All right, let's move on to Sonoma Wednesday Open.
Hold on,
David,
Mike. Hold
P10.
on. Hey! You forgot was mine not put in there? I guess I forgot to put it in for Sunday morning.
No, you just got the P7. You got to give us some explanation.
Did I?
Yeah, tell us. P7.
So, I went the whole race on nope, not pitting. I'd made the decision when I saw the Coke Series driver in there. I can't remember what his name was. He was running 125s, low 125s. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna try see where I'm at. There was so many guys that were running the same exact time, so I was like, all right, we'll try something different here. When it got strung out, I started saving fuel, and so I don't know. Normally I do this on the ovals, and I started trying it. So I was clutching going into the corners, lifting early, clutching it, and then when I was starting to hit the brakes, I would pull it out of the clutch back in and let the RPMs come in and then slow down in the corner. And I was still running 29s and 30s. I think I still would have finished in the exact same spot if I pitted and didn't pit. I don't think it would have made a difference at all. It probably would have had the same thing, but it was something to try. It was very exhausting. It was a lot of work. It would be interesting if I would have had a camera going to see my footwork, because sometimes I was getting myself caught up in doing the wrong thing, and I was close to wrecking the car a lot.
All right. And so let's move on to Sonoma now. David, P10.
Yeah, I didn't put any of my results from Chicago because I never made it past like lap 2 or 3. I was so bad there. And I kind of figured out part of why. I shouldn't have been trying to run the neutral set. It just wouldn't turn. So I got into Sonoma and I tried the neutral set for a while, and then I was like, I'll try the loose. And the loose actually drives off better because you're not having to put as much wheel in it. And so I was a lot more stable at Sonoma. I do know the track a little bit better too, and it is more forgiving if you do drive off and make a mistake. You don't usually hit the wall. Though I did hit the wall around the start-finish line, cutting the corner just a little bit too close and knocked off the front cowl halfway through the race. I was planning on not taking tires, but I noticed after everybody had stopped, I used JRT and could tell how long the pit stop was and that they had took tires. So, and I was definitely running 2 to 3 seconds off the pace as the tires were getting really old. So I went ahead and took tires to finish off the race. Finished P10, 2 laps down. So I don't know how much slower I was because of that damage to the front. It was about 2 minutes worth of damage. But a lot of people didn't finish. So even though I wasn't fast, I just didn't crash out.
Top 10. Take it. And then Chris Waldron, P1. Started practicing Sunday, studying the pros on YouTube. Shaved 5 seconds off my previous best time. Qualified P2, dropped to P4 early, but battled back to the front. Took the lead before a mistake sent me off track, and then back to P2. On lap 10, the leader slipped up. I pounced, retook the lead, and never looked back. Second career NIS win for the Waldron's Furniture iRacers Lounge Premier Setup Simrap Chevy. Well done, Chris. Second win. Brad, P20.
Yeah, just P20. Started P23, and I just never really had pace like I did in practice. I don't know why. I don't know. I could not seem to string laps together. So it was top split. So I'll take it for what it's worth. It's not my favorite track, regardless of the car. So one and done for me. The only good thing was I scored more points here than I did in the Daytona 500. So that wiped that one out when we get ready for drop weeks. So that's good.
I really don't like. One thing that I've hated over the years is I hate that we're now racing the road license for it. I wish I was racing the people that I'd be normally racing every week, oval wise.
Well, I don't understand. I mean, we had rookies in here in the races last night. There were guys with a D license for road. I just don't understand how that's possible. If it's a minimum C class license for oval, it ought to be at a minimum C class for road.
No, it should be based on oval, and it should be your oval I rating or just call it your NASCAR I rating because the racing at road courses has just not been fun since they went to this message. Add to that, all of us almost are 3,000 to 4,000 in oval, and then 1,800 in road. All of us Division 2, 3 people. Excuse me. So with 5, 6 road courses, all your drop weeks are the road courses, unless you have a really, really bad Daytona race or something like that, right? But you're getting half the points in the road races that you're getting in the cup or the oval races. So that needs to be altered somehow, because it just sucks that the road courses weigh so much less.
I just don't like that your division locks in at the beginning of the season, but the license changes depending on what you're racing track wise. I'm in NASCAR NIS series that's predominantly oval. It's an oval license to start with. It should stay in oval, and you're racing the people that you would normally be racing, and that gives, if you have an advantage over them on the road courses, it's kind of like them having an advantage over me at a drafting track or a short track or something like that.
Preach it.
All right, Thursday today, I ran Sonoma. I got a P7. Qualified fourth, was able to keep it on the pavement. Basically, I raced fairly conservative. I was able to bring it home. P7, glad I took tires per Brad's instructions, as the right front was down to 45% when I pitted it halfway. 6 hours at the Glen. David and Tom, P4.
Yeah, we ran the prime time split, and about 3 laps in, there's a GTP right in front of me spins. I can't avoid him, and so we decided to go ahead and start the next start time. And then I showed you guys the replay. There was a pileup coming out of the boot, right around the left-hander, and literally 30 cars piled into it. I went and took a video with it, making a static cam, and it was people would just keep coming in. You come around it, there's no way to know, and nobody's going to really slow down for local yellows because or even if you do, you're not going to slow down that much, because then you're just giving up way too much time. And most of the time it's one car, but this was literally the whole track was blocked. And it kind of happened because a GT3 got spun, and then he was kind of stopped in the middle of the track, but instead of holding the brakes as there's 10 cars bearing down on him, he actually slammed on the gas and speared another GT3, and that's what really caused all the chaos. And he did get protested, and it went through.
Was it Carson Hosefart?
I don't think so.
Okay, and then Donnie, Justin, William, Brad, P9.
Yeah, I'll go here for a minute, and I'll give it over to William. So, had a rough start. Got collected in a lap 1 wreck, heading into the boot. Kind of same scenario. Everybody just somebody spun, and then we were all just piled in there. So we ended up with some front end damage. We tried to probably overdriving, maybe a little bit trying to gain some spots back, but then ended up getting turned in the bus stop. I feel like I had position on the guy, and he just turned into the bus stop like I wasn't even there. So we managed to drive it back up, I think, to P10 before I turned it over to Justin. Both Justin and Donnie did a very good job, in the car, keeping it clean. Both of them had very clean stints. I think I had the most incidents, points of anybody, and some of that was from contact. But I think we turned it over to William in P12, and then he was the quickest of all of us. And I think track temp was starting to come down too when you were running. So, but did a fantastic job the last 2 hours and drove us back up to P9.
So I didn't really finish. I was talking about the wreck, but we realized that so many cars got taken out that we could still stick it out, and we came home fourth. There wasn't enough time to work our way back up to all the other people, but that's like the entire GTP field got taken out when it happened. So that's the only reason we didn't just up and quit, because that was literally like lap 2, or no, it was lap 6.
Okay, and then Justin, Chris, and Mike, we ran, and Justin started the race, and he got wrecked out early. It bottled up in the S's going up the hill. He got collected, and a lot of damage. We decided to just throw in the towel. We weren't going to try to fix it.
William,
it was early.
Oh, no, not really. Like I said, they kept it pretty clean. I was able to do some fast laps at the end because, like you said, the track was going down. I had the fastest lap of the race for a minute until somebody pit with like 5 to go and took it on low fuel. But it was really good, really clean. Kind of uneventful after I got in the car. I ran for 2 hours, and I think I made like 4 on-track passes or something like that. But it was a good event.
Yeah, it definitely was a handful with the new tire model, because both of us kept saying, just chewing up the fronts on the Ferrari. I mean, just chewing them up.
All right, good run, guys. Moving on to other racing. FIA F4 Americas started 20th out of 22 at Spa, finished P19. I kept braking too late for that final backstretch corner. I did finally figure it out, though. Moving on to the M2, I mentioned I ran at the Nordschleife in the BMW M2. I started 15 out of 27, ended up finishing P10. Great run. Next time, got wrecked out, running into another guy who wrecked. Next one, I finally qualified, so I started second. They have standalone separate qualifying for this series, by the way. I ended up missing the corner, ended up in the grass, coming back across the track and wrecking really hard, DNF. Ooh. Then I qualified pole position for the next one, got away from everybody, and I started to gap them. And I was about halfway through the race, had a 14-second lead on everybody in the field, and I made a mistake and killed the car. Meatball, DNF. Man, that one burned. All right, moving on to my Gen 4 runs. Sunday night Bristol, 36 entries, but they decided to split it into 2 races. Why does this make any sense? There should be one split of 36 cars, in my opinion. Anyway, I worked my way forward to run as high as P3. It was a split tire strategy at the end. It wasn't playing in my favor. I got wrecked for 6th place with 8 minutes damage, but it was only 2 laps left. I was able to bring it home to finish P4. Great run.
Then
we moved up.
Mike, is A opens 30 cars? Is that why? Or
I don't know. This is Gen 4.
I wonder if that Gen 4 is a 30 car entry.
That's probably dependent on what the license is. Was it C class?
It's D.
Oh,
that's why I think it's a 30 car limit for. I could be wrong though.
Okay. And then Tuesday I ran New Hampshire. Wow, this is a true test of the new brake. Holy cow, I have to stand on this thing to stop it. I was running top 10 on a restart. I was P6 in a single file restart, and the leaders all stack up in front of me. I didn't see any of it, what was going on. I drove underneath the guy in front of me as the guy behind me drove underneath me. Too much damage, we're done. Tried the very next race, qualified P6 out of 27th, got a big wreck at the halfway point, only about a minute and a half damage, did not pit for fuel, got into another incident, but was somehow able to finish P9. Wednesday night, qualified 4th out of 20, quickly got to P2, but eventually finished P5 after a couple of minor incidents. Then we switched to Homestead, qualified 9th out of 27. After a while of just riding, 2 cars crashed into each other down low on the front, but a third one was high. I didn't see the third one. Me and another guy plow him, DNF. Next, qualified 6 out of 30, ran top 5 pretty much most of the race at the end. Really didn't have anything for the top 2, but was super happy to bring it home with a podium finish, P3. Then qualified 9th out of 23rd, got my way to the top 3 pretty quick. It was a split strategy. I was conservative and got tires while making it a 2-stop race, while others stayed out and did 1. Passed halfway to make it on the 1 stop. I ran out of fuel near the end, leading up, led the most laps, had to do a splash and go, but all the people on the 1-stoppers got me, and I ended up finishing P9. Basically, at Homestead, I've learned you got to do a 1-stopper. A Open, Brad, P14.
When is 2 stops ever better than 1 stop?
You always tell me that, yeah.
Yeah, Chicago. So tried to get a little practice in before last week's NIS race. Top split, drove up to P5, but was just overdriving the car, which led to a bunch of random wall contact, a little bit of damage. But final wall contact was in turn 2. A car spun ahead of me, and I had to lock them up, try to avoid, and I slid left side into the tire barriers there. Ended up getting 6 minutes of damage, but ended up getting it fixed and just soldiered on to a 14th place finish. Mainly just got back out there just to try to alleviate the bleeding SR.
All right, IMSA, Brad, P12, Watkins, GT3.
Yep. So P12, I'm just not good at this track. I say that every time we race here, but we're still really struggling on the qualifying on the cold tires. It was in the Porsche. It's just unstable, especially with light fuel. So having to start towards the back makes a good finish hard. Race was rather uneventful. Managed to keep it relatively clean. Kind of finished mid pack, and then I ran Mosport today. Finished P3. Started P3. We had single split, so. Had good pace, just never enough to catch P2. But single split madness, 23 GTPs, 9 LMP2s, and then we only had 10 lonely GT3s. Hardly a clean minute on the track anywhere. I mean, it was just constantly being swarmed by prototypes. It was miserable.
Okay, GT Sprint Semicube Series, Brad's P10 at Spa.
Yeah, figured I'd get a little bit of practice in heading into this week. Started P13. I made my way up to P5, but got spun early on. I can't think of what the corner it is, but I probably could have given the guy a little bit more room. He probably could have been a little more patient, but it is what it is. Soldiered back to get to P8, but in the last lap battle, spun and fell back to P10. So was after the run up Radeon, and then that right, left, and then the right, was trying to set him up to try to get inside of him on that second right, and just he braked a little bit early, and I bumped right into the back of him, and that was enough to upset the car. But it is what it is.
And then William, P3.
Yep. I also was doing some practice, just like Brad. Started P3, finished P3, and I think it was the 5th split. 0x at Spa, which I was amazed because that never happens. Probably had pace for second, but I didn't want to push the issue because I just wanted a good finish because of PTSD from the endurance race I'll talk about in a minute. Felt really good. I generally don't like Spa because because people are so sweaty on this track. It's in every racing game ever, so you got your Spa specialists and all that. But 2, I've just never really been fast at it. But over this week and all this practice with grassroots and then the officials, I've found some pace, and I'm really looking forward to the weekend. Broke 2,500 iRang in this race, so I'm pretty happy.
Okay, and then the Conspit Endurance P30.
Yep. Impatience from myself led to 2 incidents in the first 12 laps. Neither were really my fault. They're just me putting my car where I don't need to and giving people the opportunity to turn in on me and stuff. Had a guy really slow. I was following for a couple laps. He was making a real big traffic jam. He went off the track out of no name, and I tried to put it up the inside. He went defensive really early, and I crossed him over exiting Pugon, and he just turned into me. Really should have just waited. And like I said, nothing my fault, but putting the car in bad spots. Yeah, P30th from the solo 3 hour. I gained 1 I rating, so it was a little of a frustrating day on that one.
All right, and then Grassroots League P4.
Yep, we took the week off because our season ended last week, previous week that we didn't do a show. So we did a practice race for Spa, 90 minutes at Spa. Ran in the front 3. We were nose to tail for literally 45, 50 minutes. It was really fun. I was running 2 guys I was running with are super quick, mid 4K I rating. So I was really happy to have the pace. And then I just lost concentration for half a second going into the turn 14. I braked a little bit too late. It unsettled the car, and I didn't let it resettle before I got back on the gas. I half spun, no damage. I was able to save it mostly, but I still lost about 12 seconds and spent the rest of the race trying to catch back up. I did catch up to probably about 4 seconds behind second, third. Leader won by 12. Again, nothing extraordinary, but I'm really happy with the pace and looking forward to this 24.
All right, other racing I ran, hosted Saturday night. Chris McGuire, V8 Supercars at Michigan, started dead last, somehow, some way, P4. What a great run. And then I attempted the Firecracker 400 special event. I qualified 18th out of 41. I made it almost a half of a lap before the leaders wreck by touching the apron and take out the entire field. I had too much damage. We're done. Didn't even finish 1 lap. It truly is the Firecracker 0 instead of the Firecracker 400. Then Sunday night, I ran the Firecracker 400 fixed. Try it again. Made it to lap 59 this time before I touched the apron on my own. Got into a spin, and the guy behind me finished me off. 9 minutes damage, DNF. All right, final thoughts. Greg Hectus.
Just looking forward to running some Sonoma tomorrow night. I only think I'm gonna get 1 start in, so I'm gonna try it tomorrow night. We had a little meeting last week, just going over some of the stuff for the Sim Expo. So I didn't know. I think David said he had some microphones too, but I got some mics, wireless mics that we could put on our shirts for doing interviews and stuff at the show. So I'm pretty excited for that. What hooks into my camera so we can record some content for this show and make sure we get around the expo and interview some people and bring the kind of content that you guys listen to us would want to hear.
Yeah, I'm guessing episode 501 or 502, David, we're going to probably put together some kind of a unique show with those clips.
Yeah, it'll essentially be a bonus episode. We'll have a week with 2 episodes come out. One of our standard episodes, and then just a bonus.
All right, Brad Wren, final thought.
I guess I kind of going a little rant here. So last week, IMSA was at Motorland Aragon. I don't know who in their right mind thought that was a good track to try to run sports cars at. The attendance was so bad. I mean, most races were 10 or 12 cars. I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't understand where we come up with some of these. I don't know. So looking forward to this week. Go ahead.
I was going to say, that's all done by the community manager, and there's a vote on that stuff. So
I guess so. I mean, if people vote for it, but then they don't show up, I mean, it's miserable.
I'm pretty sure the IMSA schedule got taken by iRacing a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
you're right.
some of them are community led, but I think IMSA's iRacing.
Yeah, I mean, you look at results, and there's 3 GT3 cars in the field. You're either gonna, it ain't fun. So whatever. Looking forward to Spa this weekend. Should be a good race. Last year's was a challenge. We had a lot of rain last year in this race. I don't think we have any this year. So I think Greg and I did the bulk of the rain racing last year, and yeah, should be a good time.
Okay, David Hall, final thought.
Ready for Spa and looking forward to the expo.
All right, very good. William Westbrook, final thought.
Oh yeah, just enjoyed my week off last week. I mean, I love getting on here with you guys, but with work time commitments lately, it was nice to have just a chill out Thursday. Glad to be back though. Glad to be doing the show. And then like everybody else, just looking forward to Spa this weekend. Like I said, I normally do not like Spa, but my pace, at least this week, has me pretty excited. So I hope we are able to pull a pretty good finish.
All right, you guys go get it. My final thought, man, the Sim Gaming Expo is coming quick. If you haven't booked your tickets, do it. Do it. It's coming up quick. I want to see everybody there. It's going to be so much fun. Can't wait. As far as the Gen 4, man, I'm all in on the Gen 4 iRating, be damned. But it is so much fun to have 900 horsepower under the pedal, guys. It's like driving a boat. You know how you're in a boat and you just hit full throttle and you just kind of point and shoot? That's the thing. You just full throttle this car, you point it and go. And it's really brought a breath of fresh air into oval racing. And I encourage everybody to get involved in Gen 4. Look, there should be more people running this car. It is worthy. It is worthy. It is worthy. And with that, hey, I'll see you out on the track later. Okay.
So